I'm talking to Asa Gregory about People for the Ethical Treatment of Voters, or PETV. Asa, can you tell us a little bit about PETV?
Sure. I mean, it's a small operation. It's me and my friend Barbara and a few other of our friends in neighboring counties who believe in what we do. And it started when Barbara and I saw the activities of a Tea Party member of our local board of elections. Um, he was actually the Wilson, North Carolina Tea Party founder. And the Wilson, North Carolina Tea Party was actually a model for tea parties around the nation, actually. It's kind of like the whole ALEC thing. Like once something works and you spread it around. And so this Wilson Tea Party was like really, it had a lot of power and influence. And so the founder got appointed to the board once we had Pat McCrory, the Republican governor, the last one that finally, thankfully, is gone. What happens when we have a Republican governor is there are two in each county, there are two Republicans and one Democrat. So we had two Democrats and one Republican. So then there was room to add another one. So they added this guy, Joel Killian, who was the Tea Party founder. And we saw him at a street festival selling T-shirts of Death to Tyranny with skull and crossbones. And, basically it's kind of an allusion to Obama, basically. And he was collecting donations for the Tea Party in their tent. Well, that's a violation of the ethics, code of ethics, and also the law as a member of the state board of elections. So we gathered evidence and we presented it at the state board of elections. And I'm telling you the history of it to kind of demonstrate what a startup organization can do. Barbara and I presented our information to the state board in December of 13. And while they dismissed our complaint about him that had over 30 pieces of evidence, verified cited evidence, they did give warning to him. And then a friend of mine sent me a video of him appealing in our county around the time the parties had to submit lists of poll workers, like judges, chief judges and all that stuff, and like the ones who would like lead people to the machines in each precinct. he was appealing to the patriots, and he basically told them to go to the Republican chair to sign up to be a worker on the Republican side. But he said nothing about our chair, Will Ferris, our Democratic chair. And so that was, again, a blatant violation. So what I did was I created a DVD. I saved the video before he could delete it. I made a DVD, 5 copies, actually 6 copies, 5 for each member of the state board because they had 2 more, and then 1 for like the executive director of the state board. And before we knew it, he had resigned. This is around July 4th. I submitted it, I think, on July 1st, and by, I think, July 3rd or 5th, maybe, surrounding the July 4th holiday in 2014, he resigned. So that was like, that was a victory. And that was like a demonstration of the power of even just 2 people who do their research and who say this is not right.
Tell us about the election of North Carolina Supreme Court Justice Robin Hudson.
Barbara and I played a major role in fighting the Koch money and the Art Pope money. There were millions of dollars were thrown at the sitting Supreme Court Associate Justice Robin Hudson in 2014. And they were trying to unseat her. And what they did was they created a primary, because in North Carolina, if you have more than 2 judges or justices or judicial candidates going for the same seat, so if you have 3 or more, then that creates a primary. So then the top 2 vote getters move on to the general. So they threw 2 conservatives into the race, which forced Robin Hudson to fight 2 conservatives. And then one of them would move on to the general. Well, she won outright the most number of votes in the primary, but unfortunately she had to fight one of those conservative justice candidates. But she wound up winning the general too. And part of that was us using our platform, because we do a radio podcast through PETV. We hosted for from December 13 until like solidly into the summer of 15. We did that show. It's on hiatus for now. We plan to bring it back, but we educated people. We got the word out about Robin Hudson. Please vote for Robin Hudson, and she won very handily. And the same thing happened again this year. Is we did a lot of work educating people on how important Supreme Court justices are, judges in general, court appeals judges, and our Mike Morgan. He won, and he sits on the Supreme Court justice as a Supreme Court associate justice in North Carolina. So now we've got that firewall. We have a Democratic governor. We have a Democratic attorney general. So we have some methods of fighting the still GOP-controlled legislature here. And so our work is to continue to educate, to empower, and to advocate.
And what advice do you have for people who are trying to do something similar to PETV in their county or state?
Empowering yourself with the actual information. Like, for instance, here in North Carolina, any Joe Schmo or Jane Schmain, whatever, can walk into the state board of elections, and they can, for $20, they can buy the latest book of election law for North Carolina. And it's also got a copy of the North Carolina Constitution. So you can read through that. You can educate yourself. So when there are hearings and they try to like railroad something by, you can be like, no, because it says here in section bowl, whatever. I think that's very empowering, is just knowing that, and again, educating others to have the same information. But like I said, contact us on that. I will probably most likely see it first, but possibly Barbara, but we can absolutely coach somebody if they have any questions, if they need support. We'd be happy to do that for them.
What advice can you give to progressive candidates who are running for the first time?
Look at Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign for one. But going further back, you need to look at someone called Paul Wellstone. And he wrote a book called Winning the Wellstone Way, and sort of, listen to Bernie Sanders' newest book, Our Revolution. That tells you how he was able to win the mayorship, and like how he and his friends, it was a crack team of like, a handful of people that actually pulled it off. So I think that's a great template. And again, you just need to get yourself out there. You need to go to community events like here. I go to NAACP, I go to Democratic Women, I'm an associate member. There's a group called Council Against Racism that meets in Greenville, and I go with my friend Janet that I mentioned before. And just having like, your own town halls, like create your own events. It's so easy to use social media these days, especially Facebook, to create an event and invite your Facebook friends in the area to come out. And once you get a core group of supporters who really believe in your message, then, you can build from there, and just, again, know the election law, know where you can put the signs, know, all the little stuff. And again, you can reach out to me because I do have experience, and I'd be happy to counsel anybody. But you can do it. You just need to hit the trail. You need to start early. I start early all the time.
Asa, thank you so much for talking to me. You've been hugely informative. There are links in the video description for the resources we've been discussing for anyone who wants to educate themselves further on these issues and help enact change. I hope that you'll all check them out. So this has been our interview with activist Asa Gregory.